keep it alive through these lines I write. I keep it live cause I thrive. I might just blow your mind tonight. I'm so hyped, but it's no hype. From this height, it's direct hits on sight. I'm your type, lend me your ears to show you that there's something in me. I'm not giving up, I'm standing right here, holding these days hostage. And I'll make this my year. We turning fear into love, and the love's in the air. I love doing this cause nothing compares. Nothing can share that same type of feeling when you feeling them flares. They can't catch it, it's havoc. I rip to a tear, switch a scenario. My stereos, I leave them impaired. Variables start to change and they're all in my range. I just gotta grab it, it's all mathematics. Every step is drastic, I make it fantastic. I'm trying to take your breath away. Asthmatic.
This is live through the stereo. Go and let it blow, blow through the stereo. I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo, stereo. This is live through the stereo. Go and let it blow, blow through the stereo. I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo, stereo.
Yeah, just nod your head with it, so explicit and vivid. Every image is intricate, intimate. I put my all into it, no scrimmage and no rules. I'm a pro tool, hear my heartbeat, beat into the vocals. I'm so loco, lost my mind, oh no. It's ponderoso, dope, so no overdose, cause it's dope, yo. Man, this is house grown, mixed with some milestones. So I let the style flow down like the Dow Jones, bringing it with some foul tones, letting the crowd know we getting loud, so it's eardrum rudiments. Yeah, we bring it rude again. Move, little hooligan. Music for tuning in, full time to the 10. I'm on my clock like I told you. I'm doing this for dreams we pursuing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anti-Media Radio Show. Once again with your host, Nick Bernabe, here on ucy.tv and the antimedia.org/radio. Thank you all for joining me again here on Wednesday, January 17, 2018. What a crazy, insane time to be alive, because there's a lot of interesting things happening all around the U.S. and all around the world, and we're going to talk about some of that stuff today. And we're not going to have DB on tonight, but we'll probably have, maybe Jake will join us. I don't know. We'll see. Anybody wanting to call in, if I'm flying solo tonight, just call me on Skype if you want to join us. It's the anti-media. And, just add me and call me on Skype, and, maybe I'll get you on the show. We still don't have the phone call function or whatever, but I'm just going to be going off on some stuff tonight. First things first, Donald Trump released his fake news awards for 2017, and some of these are actually kind of good. Paul Krugman is number one. Paul Krugman, he's a supposedly an economist. He writes for New York Times, notoriously a Keynesian economist, the kind of guy that advocates for bailouts and the kind of guy that thinks you can just print money out of thin air, and just kind of one of these typical bankster pundits or whatever. And so Trump nailed him for saying markets will never recover from Donald Trump. And as we all know, the stock market is going insane right now. Not that that's necessarily a good thing. I guess it's up to you to decide if the stock market going crazy while the middle class is kind of shrinking and people are wondering, a bunch of homeless people everywhere, and the standard of living has kind of gone down, and the stock market overheating at the same time. You tell me if that's a good thing. Regardless, it's one of those things that Trump takes credit for, despite, even though it's been going up since Obama was president and all that. It's been going up since like 2009, I think. The stock market's been going up for a long time after the bailouts and everyone got bilked. And, if we would have let the market correct, maybe people like me and people listening to the show would actually be able to afford homes and be able to live in the United States for a decent cost of living. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It's just become ridiculously expensive, and most people I know don't own a home. Most people just rent, or they still live with their parents, or they live with roommates or whatever. Part of that was because of the bailouts, something that is criticized by the far left and the far right, bailing out Wall Street. Not included in this fake news Olympics is the fact that Trump recently, more or less, he didn't bail the banks out, but he said, all right, we're not going to prosecute you guys for the stuff you guys did. So basically extended their immunity deals that they had. So, Trump, in a way, kind of bailed out the banks as well. Other fake news, just a bunch of mainstream media stuff, left-wing, not even left-wing, liberal media, ABC News, CNN. Of course, we're not a fan of CNN. Time Magazine, not a big fan of them. Washington Post, with basically them being an extension of the CIA, of course, the whole Russia. CNN again. Newsweek, this one's a surprise. Something about Trump not getting his hand shaken. Just more, superficial crap. CNN again. New York Times. A bunch of these guys, these mainstream media people that just make a living out of misleading people. So it is kind of interesting to see Trump go out and smack him around a bit. On the other hand, should the government be attacking private businesses? To me, the answer is no. The government shouldn't be attacking private businesses. If Donald Trump weren't a politician, okay. But it's not new. I mean, Obama used to criticize Fox News. And of course, missing from the Donald Trump fake news Olympics is anything hinting to the right. No Fox News, no Breitbart, who constantly make misleading stories. In fact, recent statistics show that Fox News misleads people like 60% of the time or something. It's something ridiculous. So, of course, it's just selective criticism, selective outrage. Oh my God, the media is so bad, as long as it's the CNN or MSN or NBC or one of these guys. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's just one of these things. I mean, it's just interesting to see it play out, and we're seeing a bunch of new stuff happen. It's kind of stuff you don't see very often. Again, like I said, Obama in passing at like what's that thing where they'd like go roast the president, and the president would like tell jokes or whatever, the annual media kind of meetup in DC. Trump actually skipped it this year. But I remember Obama criticizing Fox News and making fun of them and stuff. Not exactly new. But yeah, it's going on. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's crazy to see this animal kind of eat itself the way it is, right? And I had a great show on Monday. It was nice having Jim Carrey on, not the actor, the activist. Talk about China and what's going on geopolitically with the rise of the East, and a lot of what's going on in the U.S. A lot of this just kind of what would you call it? Disintegration going on with the media, with culture, with politics. It really is kind of the tell that we're heading towards a declined status around the world, and it's just a reality that hopefully everyone listening kind of knows is coming and sees it coming. And the only way to attempt to save it is going to be a big war. And of course, in our current state, taking on a big ass war beyond what we're already doing is going to be requiring the full-on, mobilization of the economy in favor of war. Maybe they'll do it to stave off a depression, or if the dollar gets legitimately threatened in some years from now, legitimately threatened for its reserve status, maybe they'll gear up and go to war for it. I don't know exactly how that's going to happen, but sooner or later, something like that probably going to play out, and it's not going to be nice. That's for sure. It's going to be an ugly, development. It's going to be an ugly time. It's going to be a dark day when that does happen. And the U.S. has to, when the U.S. has to go out and, fight for the dollar without having it just, pull power plays and threaten people and that kind of thing. When we get to that point, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be, it's going to be something. Got to be ready for it. You guys all know, everyone listening knows sooner or later it's going to happen, and that gives you an advantage, hopefully. So what else is happening around the world with all this Trump stuff? Of course, the FISA thing. Looks like the Senate voted down the amendments which could have protected our privacy, required warrants for the NSA to snoop through your stuff. The Senate voted it down in a bipartisan manner. It's crazy though, right? I mean, it's like, these guys supposedly are so different, and Republicans and Democrats are so polar opposite. But when it comes to a guy who, many Democrats have said is a authoritarian, loose cannon, puppet of Russia in Trump, and all of a sudden Democrats are like, yeah, let's just totally give that dude the power to go ahead and spy on whoever. Oh, shit. Let me see here real quick. It's like, wait, what? I thought you guys thought Trump was a maniac. I thought you thought he was a racist and a authoritarian and a bumbling buffoon who is so vulgar and so offensive around the world. And it's like, yeah, we believe that, but whatever. We're just gonna still give him the power to go ahead and snoop on everybody and all that. It's like, sounds weird. Sounds like, why would anyone go completely against what they've been saying all this time and go ahead and vote, and give Trump all that power? Well, it just goes to show it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. The Republican, Democrat, we oppose them and they oppose us, and we are actually genuinely two different things. It's like, nope, you're bullshit. You're full of shit. Not even close to being true. Republicans and Democrats are much more alike than anyone wants to give credit. The difference really is that each has to pander to a different, there's two major schools of thought in U.S. politics. It's the liberal and the conservative, and they differ mostly on social issues, where you got, people that are conservative who say, well, transgenders shouldn't serve in the military, gay people shouldn't get married, welfare should be harder to get, you should require drug testing, and blah, 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 blah. On the other side, you have the liberals who are the opposite on social issues, where it's like, yeah, gay people should be able to get married, transgender people should be able to serve in the empire, welfare should be handed out kind of more liberally or whatever. But when it comes to allowing some guy like Trump to spy on people, with the deep state, with the NSA, with the the surveillance apparatus, yeah, they're totally cool with it. When it comes to Trump bombing countries like Syria and stuff, no big deal. They're cheering it on. You remember? That the liberal fake media, CNN and all them, when Trump bombed Syria, they're like, yeah, dude, you're finally a president. You're legitimate now. I guess continuing that tradition of bombing the Middle East or whatever, like presidents tend to do. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, God, he's bombing someone. Wow, he's so nice. He's so awesome. And it's like, what in the fuck alternate universe are you guys living in? The one thing that we should actually all be like, okay, wait, hold on. Like, I totally support abortion and all, but we should not be killing people, on the other side of the world who never attacked us. Instead, they're like, well, he's against abortion, but hell, if he's going to bomb people and kill people on the other side of the world that never attacked us, I support him in that. It's like, wait, shouldn't we be compromising on the other stuff and not compromising on the fact of killing people by drones on the other side of the world who never attacked us? Shouldn't that be kind of a big deal? And so in this mainstream political discourse, it's brilliant the way that these guys have set it up in a bad way, where it's like all the kind of, now I don't want to put down social issues or anything, but to me the real judgment of a country is based on what it does outside of its borders, outside of its own citizenry. And that's why you don't see me on here very often criticizing other governments. For instance, Iran or Russia, or especially North Korea. The case could be made that Russia interferes with other countries. The case could be made that Iran interferes with other countries. The case can't be made for North Korea. You can't tell me, oh, North Korea is overthrowing so-and-so country in Africa, or North Korea is electioneering in South Korea, or North Korea is influencing Chinese politics. You can't tell me that, because it's not happening. And so when I look at, when I want to go and judge a country based on what it's doing, I care less about what it's doing internally and more about what it's doing externally. Because internally, a country is going to have to deal with its own stuff. If motherfuckers want to be here in the U.S. eating fucking Tide Pods and snorting Tide Pods and fucking smoking Tide Pods and all that shit, fine. They want to be idiots, let them be the idiots in America. But if you want to go around the world and say, hey, Mexico, you guys have to eat Tide Pods. You guys got to snort Tide Pods. You guys got to smoke Tide Pods. That's when you start saying, wait, you guys want to drink Tide Pods. You guys want to elect Donald Trump. You guys want to be idiots. Do it in your own country. Do it in your own place. Don't go around telling us we got to drink Tide Pods, eat Tide Pods. Right? And so that's the big problem, is when countries want to go around telling other countries what to do. Look, the United States, yeah, we got a bunch of issues. Major issues. We got structural racism, ridiculous inequality, police brutality, incarceration state, the war on drugs. We got a bunch of issues here. Bunch. And we got to deal with those issues on our own. Who's going to help us solve those issues? What is China going to come over here to the United States and send an army in here and help us solve the war on drugs? Is China going to send an army in here and say, "Oh, we're you guys are overdosing on opiates, so we're going to send an army over there to prevent that"? Or is Russia going to send an army over here and say, "Oh, you guys are too dumb. You voted for Donald Trump. We got to send an army to prevent that"? How is that going to fix anything in the United States? How is it going to solve our problems? It's not. Our problems have to be solved on our own. We have to realize them and figure them out on our own and learn about what's going on, and also deal with the consequences of, plenty of people who I know personally voted for Trump just for the hell of it. Just, well, what else, can't be any worse than Hillary Clinton, right? And so the people that were thinking in that line of thought, they have to deal with the consequences. They have to deal with the reality of Donald Trump. And of course, now he saved up the whole fake news thing, the fake news awards, so that he could inject a distraction whenever he needed it. That's really what, he was supposed to announce it like last Monday or something. And he saved it up so that he could use it whenever, at the drop of a dime, he could just let that out and use it as a big distraction. It's the #1 trending topic right now on Facebook. Probably on Twitter too. I haven't checked yet. But this shit comes out that Trump cheated on his wife with a fucking porn star. And it's very likely that his lawyer paid her off to shut up prior to the election. It's all these conservative Christians that voted for Trump. Now you got to deal with those consequences. Now you got to say, oh shit, Hopefully, maybe not. I've seen a lot of people just totally blank anything out that has to do with anything negative on Trump, but hopefully some of these people are like, wow, I can't believe we voted for that guy and gave some lunatic like that the levers of power and let him kind of boss us around, take our money and spend it. We have to deal with the consequences of our own nonsense. All the fucked up shit we've done, whether it's the genocide of Native Americans, the enslavement of African Americans, the ongoing racism, extreme inequality, environmental catastrophes. When you make your bed, like they say, you got to sleep in it. And this is the bed that this country has made over the ages, over the generation. Now a bunch of the people, I think, the millennials maybe are the most compassionate generation so far. The people with real access to information. It may seem real trivial with these guys snorting fucking Tide Pods and all that the internet's used for no good. But for the first time in history, people have easy access to vast amounts of information that no longer is embargoed. For the longest time throughout history, information was probably the hardest thing to come by. And even today, information is very valuable. And throughout history, the rich and powerful, and in particular, I would say the religious kind of ruling classes, which is how I think the rich people kind of figured out how to control people, was to kind of get them with the religion or whatever. They kind of have this monopoly on information where it's, oh, we know the holy information and God spoke to us, and so you have to come to us to receive this information from God. And so then the people in charge, the people in power, could just dole out whatever information they wanted. Oh, God says that you got to pay taxes, and God says that you got to give us 1/10 of everything you earn, and God says you have to give money, and God says you have to do this and do that. And for thousands of years, the ruling classes benefited from that. monopoly on information. And the internet is, jailbroken a bunch of that stuff. And so instead of saying, we can't embargo the information, they still try to. I mean, the censorship is strong as fuck. I mean, just today I saw several of my friends got demonetized on YouTube, which means that they can't make money anymore from their videos that they post on YouTube. So, now they're like working for free, basically, unless you guys give them money. The people that watch their videos actually give them money, which is actually very rare. Most people make money through the advertisements. You guys go on our website and you read it. We don't charge any money for the articles, and there's ads on there, and we make a few cents per 100 people that read the articles. We don't have to ask for donations and all that stuff. But YouTube is cracking down on that stuff. Facebook is cracking down on that stuff. Google is cracking down on that stuff. And so, of course, it's soft censorship. It's corporate, privatized censorship, whatever you want to call it. It's not like the government is saying, we're telling Google they have to unmonetize anything that covers, the government support of terrorist groups or whatever. But Google, being the good little lapdog that it is, or maybe it's the fact that Google is actually more powerful than the government. I don't know. One way or the other. They preemptively censor that kind of stuff. I mean, we did the Fallujah coverage when the videos, the images came out, and it was some really brutal, pictures and really brutal things that the U.S. did to people in Fallujah, the Iraqis. We post the article and the images and stuff, and Google said, hey, well, they sent us an email. It's like, we might go ahead and just revoke your entire ability to make money with Google because you guys are posting these images of these horrible things that the U.S. government did to Iraq. Now, did the U.S. government have to go tell Google, hey, Google, people are posting these pictures, it's making us look bad, we need you guys to demonetize them, threaten them or something? I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think Google is more like, they're so big now, they're so involved that they're actually, just saying, oh, well, we're, preemptively censoring stuff that makes the government look bad. And, Facebook has been caught working with regimes. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it came out last week or the week before. Facebook is working with foreign regimes, dictatorships, or authoritarian regimes, helping them gather intelligence, data, helping them gain some public support. Just came out today that the big internet companies, Google, Facebook, Twitter, are doing what they call counter speech, where they're identifying people who they think may be on the extremes, not even just terrorists, just extremes. And they're targeting them, sending them content that they hope will bring them back from the fringes, and at the same time elevating moderate voices. Giving a megaphone to the moderates, basically. And on one hand, it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we don't want fucking ISIS out there getting a huge presence on social media. But who are the moderates? I mean, do we want to give a megaphone to Hillary Clinton? Do we want Facebook and Google to say, all right, well, anyone that doesn't support Hillary Clinton is too extreme or too radical, so we're going to go ahead and silence them, and we're going to give a megaphone to the people who support Hillary, or the people who support, I don't know, Romney or fucking McCain or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. I can't stand most of the people that support Trump. I think they're a bunch of idiots. But do I think that those people should be silenced? Because they're idiots? No, because then how are we going to fix the problem of a bunch of racist idiots running around this country if no one even knows they're there? No one can even engage them in a conversation because no one even realizes, oh shit, my neighbor's a bumbling racist. How are you going to know? I'm not saying give these guys a platform, but don't silence them and push them further underground where we can't even have a conversation about what it is they believe. But that's what now these companies are doing because they catch all the flack for all the bad stuff that goes on. And it's like, oh, well, how many times have we seen it blamed on Facebook that Trump won the election? How many times have we seen that? And now Facebook is going and moving and saying they're going to take away news out of the newsfeed, and publishers and pages like us, for instance, are just not going to be in there no more. Because they're tired of dealing with everyone blaming them for society's problems. Now, I'm a huge critic of Facebook too. Facebook is, of all the problems, the soft censorship, the corporate censorship going on. But you can't blame Facebook for the fact that people are upset in this country. People are gravitating outside of the mainstream. People are gravitating towards the fringes of society, whether it be on the left or the right. That isn't Facebook's fault. That's because the system is failing people. And so in the system, instead of saying, oh shit, we're failing people, it's like, well, Facebook's the problem. Google's the problem. We have to censor these terrorists. We have to censor these fringe. We have to censor these racists. We have to censor Antifa. Or you have to censor all these other people. In typical American fashion, we're not learning from the grievances of the people who are out there trying to let everyone know what their grievances are. People marching in the streets, Black Lives Matter protesters blocking freeways. Instead of saying, well, let's hear these guys out and let's try to figure out why they're, protesting. Oh, the police are killing too many people? Oh. Well, maybe we should talk about that. Instead of saying, oh, well, those terrorists need to be run over because they're blocking streets and people need to get to work. And in typical American fashion, we don't want to listen to anybody. And I'll tell you what, these terrorists, they tell you what they're complaining about. They'll tell you. They'll tell you that they're upset with U.S. foreign policy. Or, that they're tired of our military bases in their country. Or that they, whatever it may be. I mean, people voice their grievances. They tell you. But we don't want to listen. I mean, what are you going to do when nobody wants to listen to you? That's why people lash out. That's why people get pissed off. They get fed up with all it real quick. So, just one of those things. We gotta stop blaming the platforms for our problems. People want to blame the Electoral College for Donald Trump, right? It's kind of the same thing. But, you know, we got some issues, deep-seated issues in the United States that need to be dealt with. And back to the point I was making earlier, everyone's got them. Every person, every country, every place. Can't run from it, really. Everyone's got issues, no matter where you look. Things that we got to deal with on our own. Not just by yourself, but, you know. You can't expect some foreign entity to come bail you out, save you from yourself. That's what the U.S. has been doing. Going around, acting like they're going to save you from yourself. You know, and that, you know, banning drugs is going to somehow keep you alive longer. And at the same time, the longevity of the average American has declined now 2 years in a row, which is a pretty big deal. Hasn't happened in a long time. And so these guys want to run around acting like they're gonna, you know, protect you from yourself or whatever. It's like, well, it's not working. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff happening. Everyone wants to lay the blame down. No one wants to take responsibility for it. And I don't know if it's just a uniquely American thing where we just never want to take responsibility for anything of our own. You know, this whole war on terror thing is like the perfect example. It's like, oh, we have this war on terror, and why do terrorists hate us? Well, because we're in their countries, and so what's the answer? Well, we're going to go in their countries. So it's like, wait, okay, so terrorists hate us because we're in their countries, and our solution to terrorists hating us because we're in their countries is to be further involved in their countries. It's just like, okay, how does that make any sense? You know, and then when some stupid shit happens and some attack happens and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe these evil people attacked us. And I can't believe that anyone would try to harm us innocent Americans. What have we done to anybody? Well, I'll tell you what you've done. You haven't done anything. We haven't done anything to stop what's been going on. I mean, this shit's since 9/11. 9/11. Been 17 years. More than half of my life. We've been doing this war on terror thing. And where in the fuck is anybody at trying to stop it? Where is anybody at? We post the stories every day. Every day. Saudi Arabia, Israel, U.S. intervention in Yemen, airstrikes in Syria, Iraq, terror, suicide attack in Baghdad. Nobody wants to take any credit for what the U.S. is doing. And you know what? Most Americans are guilty by just being complacent about it. Like I said, the information is out there. And that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us, especially us millennials, we're aware of all this stuff. Ask any millennial And I love, you guys know me. I love throwing these fucking statistics out there. I would say 8 out of 10. If you ask them about the drug war, they tell you it's bullshit. 8 out of 10. The war on terror, I don't know, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. People know. But we have to stop allowing it to happen. Because that's what these politicians capitalize on. Is their false sense of authority that all of us are just like, well, it is what it is. This is our government. It's not the best, but better than nothing. So we're just going to go ahead and let Trump walk all over our fucking rights and let him arrest people for weed and let him bomb people that never attacked us. It's our fault for being complacent. And of course, there's tons of propaganda. They manipulated us. They got all the psychology and science on their side, and they're real good at this stuff. But that's still no excuse. We've got the information. How is it that some of us have realized this was going on? How have I realized it? People listening to this show realized it. Yeah, I know you guys are smart, but we're not the smartest people in the world by any means. How have we figured it out? But everyone else is like, whatever. I still got my, TV and entertainment, and I still got some food on the table, even if it's crappy food that's making me sick. I still got food. So whatever, screw it. The U.S. could have gone a radically different route. We could have reconciled our past transgressions. We could have made good to the Native Americans. We could have done reparations for the people who were affected by slavery. We could have undone the structural racism. We could have ended the drug war. We could have freed all the people that are in jail. We could have put our money, instead of spending trillions and trillions of dollars on foreign policy, on bailouts, and all this other trickery, we could have done right by our people and built something long-lasting and something sustainable and something eternal and something extraterrestrial. I mean, we could have been, by all means, the United States should have already been on Mars and been growing food up there for 20, 30 years now, maybe. Instead, I don't want to lay the blame squarely on our parents and their parents, but come on. You guys allowed this stuff to happen. The whole Cold War, fear-mongering crap, allowed it all to happen. And just like we're allowing the post-9/11 war on terror stuff to happen right now. And the U.S. could have been something else. It really could have been that shining star on the hill. Or whatever the crap Reagan said was. It could have been that. It's not, but it could have been. But, coulda, woulda. Shit happens, right? Is it too late? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know if it's too late. Maybe. I know it's not too late to work on yourself. Do your own thing. Make shit happen in your own life. Make shit happen in your own neighborhood. That's what I'm trying to do. one of the few friends of mine that actually owns a house. It's got a nice yard in it. We're building a community garden, and we're setting up a crypto trading network, and we're all putting resources together to do things at the community level. At this point, we got to talk about starving the beast, getting the money out of the hands of these assholes. Because they show no sign of remorse, no sign of reform. They don't want to change. These short-sighted idiots think this show can go on forever. It can't, obviously. But, they think what they think and they do what they do. But we got to do our thing. We got to do our own thing. We got some really, really interesting big things happening here beyond the anti-media. We've got a big project. I'm going up to LA on Friday night, and I'm going to be up there for the Women's March on Saturday, and then we're going up to Las Vegas on Sunday for another march. Some of the big names I'm sure you guys will recognize. Carrie Wedler, editor-in-chief of the Anti-Media. Justin King from the Fifth Column. Derek Brose from the Conscious Resistance. Ford Fisher from News to Share. We're teaming up with an organization who I'm an advisor to on the board called G3 Media. Can't give out all the details, but let's just say it's something really big hopefully happening, that will bring much, much more attention to our causes, gives a chance to reach a whole new audience, mainstream audience. And who knows? Maybe it'll be something big. But just keep in mind that, we're still plugging away. Hope is not gone. As crazy as things may look, as fucked up as things may seem, hope isn't gone. Hope is far from gone. And as much as we talk about the U.S. fading from the world stage and the dollar losing its reserve status, it may not necessarily be a bad thing. The U.S. is... Look, you can only last for so long as the world's largest power, because when you're not competing against somebody and clawing your way up the ladder, well, then you're losing your edge. It's like a knife that isn't used loses its edge. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It's going to be some rough times economically, but look, who's going to lose the most? All these baby boomers that are kind of tied up on retirements and entitlements and all that stuff. They're going to be really the ones hurting. But us millennials, we're already used to not having much. And it's not going to be, we're going to have Europe status. It's like, well, we're not the empire anymore, but we're not like third world either, We're going to be all right. And maybe, for us, we might actually finally be able to afford to live in a house, to own a house. But the age of American hegemony financially around the world, that's come, and it's on the way out. It's leaving. It's already on the way, If you look at us, for us, it's already gone. Our parents may have been able to benefit from that stuff, but for us, it's American hegemony economically. It's over. It's already gone. And maybe American hegemony isn't a great thing. Maybe having another power be up there with us to help keep us in check. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we shouldn't be able to go around knocking out governments at will whenever we want, not properly understanding the repercussions of our actions, like, for instance, in Libya, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, basically anywhere else that we go in meddling with the place. Maybe it's better there's someone that's strong enough to say, hey, wait, guys, no, maybe you shouldn't do that. And for us, those paying attention to what's going on, yeah, right now it sucks because we're kind of cursed to see the world burn, and we're cursed to see these assholes fall into the tribalistic politics every 4 years, and oh, Republican, and oh, Democrat, and oh, Obama, and oh, Trump, and all this other crap. Yeah, it's our burden to see our fellow, our friends, our family, our people who maybe are activists, see them regress and, fall backwards with all that stuff. That's our curse. But the blessing in disguise there is that we actually know what the fuck's happening, and we can be ready for it, and we can see it coming. And we're not caught off guard like, oh my god, I can't believe this just happened. I had totally no idea this was going to happen. Oh, well, no. We know what's happening. And a bunch of people, like these people that are like obsessed with the standing for the pledge and all that, they're so fucking clueless that they don't even have a fucking clue what's happening. Well, America's the greatest country in the world. If you don't like it, you should leave. Blah, 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 blah. They don't even, I have a feeling these people have maybe never even left their hometown. They don't know what the fuck's going on in the world. All they know is what Fox News tells them, what CNN tells them. They don't even know what really happens around the world. You got to get out there and see it before you can comment on it. And this immigration debate thing, and just more of the same stuff. People have no fucking clue what they're talking about, are the loudest ones. And they're clueless. They have no clue what the fuck's actually happening. They want a big police surveillance state with a fucking giant wall at the border, not knowing that they gotta go in and out of it too. Not realizing or not caring at the moment. They'll care soon enough. And wanting to discourage people from coming to this country. Those are the people bringing the money. And the jobs. And the demand. And the labor. Most countries around the world that have... Many countries around the world, I don't want to say most. Many countries. First world countries. Their biggest problem is not having enough people. Declining populations. Western Europe, Japan, Russia. I'm sure you guys have heard it. They pay people to have kids over there. They pay people to have kids. And these fools over here are like, oh, it's economically unsustainable to be bringing, to be allowing immigrants to come across. Like, no, it's actually economically, unsustainable to be not allowing immigrants into this country. To be honest. And sure, yeah, I'm sure there's problems with the welfare system and the welfare state and all that. There's definitely problems with that. But them fools ain't fixing it. Like, they're not fixing it with or without immigrants. Hold on. Let me get a beer break here. too long-winded. The information's out there. Why be ignorant about it? Why open your big mouth about something you know nothing about? You know. And then, of course, you got the shithole thing, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Trump called country shitholes." And yeah, I can't believe it either. It's crazy, but the selective outrage. You know, I hate to be the whataboutist and whataboutism and all that stuff, but come the fuck on, dude. Shithole, yeah. These countries are shitholes because we sat around for a couple generations and allowed, in many cases, allowed our government to help turn them into shitholes. Where was the fucking opposition then? All of a sudden, you know, Trump says some stupid shit, calling countries shitholes, supposedly. Where were you guys at when they were turning those countries into shitholes? I mean, Haiti? Didn't the U.S. like overthrow that government at least once or more? Don't we got bases like all throughout Africa? Why the fuck are people kind of just like all of a sudden like, oh, I can't believe you called them shitholes? Like, where were you at when Libya happened? Where were you at when Obama said, oh, Gaddafi's got to go? Where was everybody at? And again, I don't like to pull this whataboutism bullshit, but come on, dude. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The same people that could give two shits about the drone program, which of course has increased under Trump, because of the same people not giving a shit about it under Obama, of course it rolls over into Trump, and now he's going even crazier on it. Where were you guys when we wanted to challenge the drone program? And so this selective outrage bullshit, you know, it helps the establishment kind of move up and push its agenda through. And these guys are over here bickering about, you know, calling a country a shithole or whatever. Which, if I were a diplomat or a politician, of course I wouldn't be calling any country a shithole. But still. Trump is also actively turning countries into shitholes right now, and these same people are not fucking saying shit. The senators, I saw these senators up there almost crying, talking about how offended they were about Trump. How are you guys offended and you don't do shit when they're bombing these countries? Like, how is that not offensive? We're bombing, like, on the books, 7 countries. How is it not offensive? Name one of those countries that fucking attacked us. None of them. None of them. Afghanistan didn't attack it. Thank you all for tuning in. Anti-Media Radio. Be back.
This is live through the stereo. Go and let it blow through the stereo. I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo. This is live through the stereo. Go and let it blow through the stereo. I'ma let them know through the stereo. Yo, here we go through the stereo.